I gather from the newly enacted vagrancy laws that they're not really, that African American women, unlike free white women, are not really permitted to work only in their own homes in many states or areas. Talk to us about some of these laws.
Yeah, vagrancy laws have a history. Another one of those histories that track back to the Elizabethan Poor Laws, which are actually kind of charming when you read them. They say that it is illegal for anyone to go wandering about from town to town, strolling players, jugglers, people with no fixed residence, people with no fixed place of employ, threaten the peace of the realm. And versions of those laws get reenacted over and over again in the colonial statutes, in early state statutes, in late 19th century statutes, as late as the 20th century, when they were used against hippies and flower children. They would be laws against people with no fixed abode and jugglers. What were they talking about, jugglers? But that goes back to the old fairs. So these statutes had long been lurking in the statute law, and when the post-war, particularly the post-Confederate states, who no longer can enslave, are looking for ways to control a population that's unwelcome, they have recourse to these statutes. And they use them in racialized ways, and even within racialized ways, they use them in gendered ways. So it's very hard to find real people vulnerable, but I did find Harriet Anthony, who is an impoverished African-American woman in post-Civil War Houston, Texas. And she is pregnant and put to work on a road gang because she's accused of vagrancy. Now, there were white women who were also impoverished white women who come afoul of the law, and they are accused of vagrancy too in Houston, Texas in 1866. But white women accused of vagrancy are put in jail, or put in the poorhouse, or put someplace out of sight. But black women are put out on the road gangs in these muddy streets. These are unpaved streets, and horses go up and down them. They need to be cleaned all the time. It's awful work, and you're doing it publicly. And there's Harriet Anthony and other black women exposed. There's this old sense from slavery days that African American women are supposed to be working. They're supposed to be working all the time. They're supposed to be working in public where they can be seen.
So just to be completely clear about this, you're saying that a state might pass one or more of these anti-vagrancy statutes and apply it differently to white women and black women.
Exactly.
So a black woman would be expected to engage in wage work in a period of history in which a white woman might be idle or appear to be idle.
Exactly. I would say they were using it differentially against white men and black men too, but the particulars of this shift for white women and black women, I think, is very specific. That black women's work must be seen. White women were not likely to be idle, but they could do their work inside their households, protected against the public gaze.
Right. But if black women were not forced to work, they would also not be required to do the work that white women still needed them to do, as in laundry or heavy cleaning and so on. Let's take a look at the South Carolina vagrancy law and see exactly what it says.